What the hell did I just watch? At this point, I think Tarantino is just trolling his audience. I think he is so beloved and so well respected and has so many awards and more money than any human being could ever spend in a lifetime. He wants to see how far he can push movies that can be so insulting and downright moronic until people will finally say this movie is stupid. Anyway, welcome to So Awkward. I'm Don. I just saw the ninth Quentin Tarantino movie, because for some reason he numbers his movies. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it was awful. And I say that as a fan of Quentin Tarantino. I am. But man, this one. One thing I'll say about Quentin Tarantino. I mean, I'm going to say a lot of things about Quentin Tarantino, but one thing I'll say about it right off the bat is that even his bad movies, and he has made some bad movies, are interesting. They're interesting in construction, and they always, even his terrible movies, none of his movies are unwatchable. They all have like a couple good scenes. They all have great performances, great dialogue. But when his movies are bad, they're shockingly bad, and the ideas are so sophomoric and insulting. There's no way I can talk about why I hated this movie without spoiling it, but I will warn you before I spoil anything. First I'll talk about what I liked about it, because like any Tarantino movie, great acting performances by really interesting actors, great dialogue, great camera work. Ralph Richardson, amazing cinematographer. Really well-constructed movie. It was really take place in 1969 in Hollywood, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that's a fun setting, and it looked great. Leonardo DiCaprio was fun, but he is not a good actor. He's an engaging actor. He's an interesting actor, but he's not a good actor. He does this accent. Anytime he does an accent, it's just like, where is this person supposed to be from? I think he was supposed to be Southern. He mentions Missouri at some point, which isn't Southern, but sometimes he sounds like he's trying to do a Southern accent. Sometimes he sounds like he's trying to do like a Brooklyn accent. I don't know what he was going for, but he didn't nail it. He was very good in the scenes where he was acting, if that makes any sense. Like all the scenes, he's a washed up Western actor, and they have a lot of scenes of his performances, and they're really good. It's like, I wish I was watching that movie. I want to watch that. I want to watch Lancer with him and Timothy Olyphant and Luke Perry. That looks like a good movie. But watching him in a scene with like Brad Pitt, who is a great actor, yeah. I haven't seen that many Brad Pitt movies, but Brad Pitt is such a natural actor. By that I mean, when you watch somebody like Brad Pitt, you think, oh, that's a human being talking. Whereas you watch somebody like Leo DiCaprio, and you think, oh, that's Leo DiCaprio reading Quentin Tarantino's dialogue. Like there's a scene where Brad Pitt is literally just feeding his dog, and he's cooking himself dinner, and it's brilliant. It's riveting. It's funny. And he's just such a quirky, interesting actor. Like his facial expressions are interesting and fun. He makes interesting choices. This movie is worth watching for Brad Pitt. It's also where the guy who played Bruce Lee, who only has a couple scenes, he's on screen for maybe 10 minutes. That guy should get a fucking Oscar. That guy was amazing. That was the best scene in the movie. It was hilarious. I want to watch an entire movie about Bruce Lee, played by that guy, written by Tarantino, although he would probably fuck it up somehow. Margot Robbie is a famous actress. I've never been too impressed with her, but she's certainly very pretty, and she's probably a good actress. She did absolutely nothing in this movie. She played Sharon Tate, because the movie was not what I thought it was going to be, but the Charles Manson family cult were characters. And obviously Sharon Tate, who was famously slaughtered by them. So here's where I'm going to spoil everything. So turn it off now. Just know it's an entertaining movie up to a point. Because Tarantino is incapable of directing a scene that isn't going to be entertaining. And he gets such high caliber cast that even if the movie is stupid and kind of insulting, they're going to be entertaining. So go see it. If you liked Django, which I hated, if you liked Inglourious Basterds, which I hated, go see this, because it's more of the same. By that I mean it's revenge porn written and directed by somebody who has no reason to say any of the things he's saying. This one's closer. By that I mean Django was revenge porn where slaves got to kill slave owners, written and directed by a white man. Kill Bill was, which I love, because that was at least entertaining and wasn't just about the revenge porn. That was revenge porn where a woman slaughters and tortures a man who wronged her, written and directed by a man. Inglourious Basterds was a revenge porn where Jews got to slaughter and torture Nazis, written and directed by a Gentile. I'm Jewish and I have family members who died in the Holocaust, so I thought the ending of Inglourious Basterds was insulting and made a mockery of the Holocaust, where they slaughtered and tortured Hitler. Spoiler. Up to that, it was a long, pondering movie, but that really is like, it's almost like Tarantino at the end of that was like, hey, look, I fixed the Holocaust. Look, I tortured Hitler for you Jews. Thank me. It's like, no, I'm not going to speak for African Americans or women, but I can speak as someone of Jewish Semitic descent who has family members who died in the Holocaust. I don't want to see more killing. I don't want to see more torture. To show that and say, hey, look, this is the Holocaust is funny. I thought that was insulting. And I think this movie was insulting as well, because I'm going to spoil it. Sharon Tate is not murdered at the end. The main characters, Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, live next door. And for some reason, the Manson family murderers, instead of going to Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski's house, they go to the other house where they try to kill people, but they are stopped and they're horrifically tortured and beaten to death. And it's like, why? If you're going to make a movie about the murder of Sharon Tate and the others in the house by the Manson family, don't make it into a madcap comedy where you take away any meaning to what actually happened historically. I don't understand what he was trying to say. Like, what was the point of this movie? It's a fairy tale where she's an angel, so she gets to live in this one. And look how I'm torturing the people who killed this wonderful actress. I'm not begrudging his right to make this movie. I just take offense to it, and I think it's a stupid movie. I find it insulting. I think it's insulting. I think if I was Roman Polanski, I'd watch this and be like, what did you do? Why did you do this? I don't know what he talks like. I have no sympathy for Roman Polanski either, by the way. I mean, it's a Tarantino movie, so I'm not going to tell you to not see it. It's like Inglourious Basterds. I can watch the first 15 minutes because the opening scene with Christoph Waltz and that French guy is amazing. After that, I got to go. I mean, there's some good scenes here and there. Django was just wretched. And I'm not against violence. I loved The Hateful Eight. I thought The Hateful Eight was one of his best movies. That's on Netflix. There's an extended version on Netflix, which is like a TV series for like a season. And it's great. And I revel in the blood in that one. But that one has interesting characters, and it's kind of an interesting storyline, and it's a well-done film. Whereas this is just almost 3 hours of nothing until we get to the end where it's like, oh, you're doing this again. No, thank you. It's once upon a time, it is swelteringly hot in this car. So I'm going to wrap it up. So yeah, I think that this movie was a dud. Go see it for the Bruce Lee guy and for Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's character was awesome, and his performance was great. Every scene with Brad Pitt's great. I wanted more. I thought it was going to be just a movie about like old timey Hollywood and the characters, and it turned out to be something different and something vastly, vastly worse. But let me know what you think. If you saw it, comment down below. But I would love to hear your opinion. What is Tarantino trying to do other than just being shocking? Because if you're being shocking, that's fine. The awful psychosexual rape scene in Pulp Fiction was shocking, but effective. Using an actual murder or something like the Holocaust or slavery or spousal abuse to be shocking just makes you an asshole. But I'll still see his next movie because he's an interesting asshole who sometimes, maybe even most of the time, makes great works of art. But not every artist is perfect, and sometimes they fail. They don't hit the mark. Or they make something that is just so freaking out there. Maybe in 1,000 years, people will look back at this and get it. But right now, 2019, in a sweltering car, once upon a time in Minnesota, I don't get it. But thanks for watching. Bye.